Hey everybody, it is me, Demetri K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq, also known as the Black Mule Brenner. And yes, we are together once again. I'm either in California or he's in Houston or we're neither, right? But nevertheless, it's good to be back in the same space. Y'all let us know if y'all can hear us okay. If you can see us okay, as I am using my trusty, dusty iPad here. But I should also say that the purpose of the Demetri K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Won't be sharing the link today. It's because, it's kind of arduous to do on the iPad and all of that. But I will say I cannot wait to get back home. As you guys can see, I'm not home. I've been traveling. It seems like maybe a month, almost a month, just not at home. So I will be home for the rest of the summer. Thank God. I'll be traveling back home on Wednesday. So definitely be home on Thursday. Today we're going to be talking about a Latina saying we're stupid if we think immigrants are not just here for the money. Of course, we're going to get into all of the conversation about what's been transpiring in regards to the ICE raids and the No Kings protests. I went to a protest yesterday, not in the protest. I went to catch the footage, if you will, and I did put it on my page on YouTube. If you didn't see it, go check it out. Very interesting. So we're going to have a pretty good conversation about all of that. Who do we have here? S. Edgy, how you doing? Don't need no man. Stop telling me I do. How you doing? Allie, what's going on with you? It's a real name, Donovan. Candy, how you doing? Harley, how you doing? Long time no see. Deshaun, what is going on with you? Brother Troy, hope you're doing well. Norma X, how are you? And Cameron, how you doing? Catherine, hope you're doing well. And Raj, yes, we are together again. Donovan, what say you? What do you got going on?
Well, for all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. I hope you got that pack of socks. But ladies, if you're going to be just giving us a pack of socks, you know we need some draws. Y'all never get us the draws.
Y'all don't wear them?
Well, we wear them out with it. Y'all hold up and stuff, because, we're practical men. Get us the whole set, the T-shirt, the draws, and the socks, if you're going to do all that. But again, thank you guys for joining us. Yes, Demetri K is here. And once again, she has evaded California immigration because, as you guys know, she now lives in Houston, and we have been trying to get her black card. So, Demetri K is dodging and just going around the circles as they're trying to find her to make sure she doesn't come back. See, she keeps coming back over the border from Texas.
It's okay. You'll never catch me.
Right, exactly.
Just like they couldn't in the DR, you can't catch me here.
So don't let her fool you with all of that. Do us a favor, you guys. There's a scroll at the bottom there, scrolling by. If you guys want to continue to have these great conversations, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, cash, money orders, boat trips, however you guys want to do it, to keep the content creator motivated to do these great things. I've got some great news. Remember earlier in the year, I was telling you guys Brother Phil Scott might be doing another special on the African Diaspora News Channel app. He is doing that, 19% off on an annual subscription. If you missed out on the last one, this is going to be the last special of the year. So this is your chance to get it. Go to Google Play, Apple Store, download the African Diaspora News Channel, or you can go to YouTube and subscribe directly right there. 19% off an annual subscription, and things are heating up all over the globe and the diaspora. So that's one thing I would like to tell you guys, to go ahead and participate and do that. But also, as we are here, Demetri, and your before we start this whole show, I'm gonna speak for the people. We want to know, you were on the love boat. Did we get any connections?
I wasn't on no love boat, okay? I don't know what boat that was. I missed that connection, apparently.
On the boat, all those men running around, and
I wasn't checking for none of them.
See, look, fellas, you see how she be lying? She keep her business to herself, so I got to give her that. So, okay, we'll let you go with that.
Yes, indeed. So, anyway, yes, Raven. I know I didn't get no big check from Ed McMahon yet. But yeah, I just been rolling around. But I'm gonna be in my seat next week. But Donovan won't be. Donovan is gonna be traveling for about a week or so. So he's gonna be on vacation, so I'm gonna be manning the ship while he's taking care of business.
Totally professional medical situation. Totally professional and medical.
Well, hopefully you won't need no medical. Okay. Hopefully you won't need no medical attention.
Right. By the way, I don't know if you noticed while you were gone, I was helming the show. We had the strippers, and we had everything going on the show for you.
Is that why I kept getting those notifications from YouTube? Yeah.
We got the lights up. I mean, it was rolling.
Hey, Tuesday, how you doing? You say happy Father's Day to all the fathers who are here and those who are no longer here. Yes, indeed. If you have a father passed like me, 2018, RIP to him. He said, may God be there for you and keep the faith. Absolutely.
Yes, and a matter of fact, when you're on your cruise, your dad was with you, so you guys basically kind of celebrated Father's Day with the family outing and everything.
Yes, indeed. Love my dad to life. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. Hey, NHB, how you doing? Says a lady on CNN is saying Mexican protesters are trying to be peaceful. It's not them that's looting and burning ish down. It's us, black people. I don't know about all of that.
Yeah,
says, so,
they've been reporting that.
So please, black people, stay at home because they're gonna try to blame us for this. Yes, indeed.
This
CJ,
is why we're not out there with them. This is
right.
Exactly why.
And by the time 103, how you doing? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it because we got a lot to cover as we've been going here. So I was scrolling on X, formerly known as Twitter, and I came across this video of a Latina saying the following. Now, this is kind of janky the way I got it set up because I'm on my iPad, but we'll be back in the saddle next week. You don't have to worry about the jankiness, but here we go.
Do not move to America because we think it's a better country. We move here because it's a little less worse than our other countries. Because you're stupid to think that we moved to this country for some hot dogs and some baseball. We have better vibes, music, food, culture, history, literally all of the above. We just moved here because we are looking to make more money and offer a better chance for our families. Did you know that the minimum wage a day, not an hour, a day in Mexico is not even 15 American dollars? Not even 15 American dollars. Right now with $15 in San Diego, I could go maybe buy a matcha and half of a granola bar, honey. If you support ICE, you support people getting destroyed. If you support families getting destroyed, I hope you rot in hell. And I will see you there, babe.
All right, so let's, yeah, she's gone. Okay, so, and hello to everybody that's come on here. Okay, so she basically said that,
F you. Basically, she said, F you guys for ratting us out or getting us out of your
Well,
country.
she says we're stupid if we think they're here for anything other than money and, you know, to do better for their family. Of course, she says wherever they come from, I don't know if she comes from Mexico or whatever, that they have vibes and culture and history and, you know, they have it all, right? And I'm thinking, well, damn, if you got it all, what you coming over here for? Right? It seems like you should be able to use all that you have,
exactly.
Make it hot and popping wherever you come from and make it do what it do, right? But, you know, to thumb your nose at people, and then, of course, you heard at the end there her saying, if you support ICE or anything like that, she hopes that you rot in hell, and I guess she's going to be there waiting for us. I don't know. Now, of course, you guys know that there's been a lot of ICE raids going on. ICE raids are ICE. The government, if you will, at the behest of Donald Trump and Tom Homan, have been going here and there and everywhere in our fields, warehouses, and you name it, right? Rounding up people who they suspect to be illegal immigrants. And I guess in LA, it started off because they went to a Home Depot. Now, if you've been to a Home Depot, you often see people who may be immigrants there looking for day labor and stuff like that. And people go pick them up, right, to help whatever. So it sounds like it started there where they went and rounded up a bunch of people and word spread that ICE was on the loose. And then from that point, there's a lot of protests that took place, specifically there in California. Of course, you guys know there was a lot of back and forth between Governor Gavin Newsom and Donald Trump, exchanging heated words. Basically, Gavin Newsom was saying, we don't need you here because Trump was sending, and he did send in troops from the National Guards to help with the police. And Gavin Newsom and a lot of other politicians there saying, we didn't ask you to do that. We got it under control. We have the police department here and things like that. And, you know, it just got really heated from that point.
Delusion.
So then with that, Yeah, yesterday had a No Kings protest. Yesterday was President Donald Trump's birthday, and he wanted to commemorate the 250th birthday of the Army. So, of course, he had this mass showing of armed forces, if you will, via a parade and all that other stuff. Now, it sounds like originally he wanted to have it for his birthday, but people was like, excuse me, say what? You're not a king, you're president. That's the kind of stuff they do for kings. And then it kind of got shifted to the, Army's birthday or whatever the case is. So, Donovan, what say you about our Latino friend there saying they just come here for the money?
Well, anybody that has any sense, like I said, when you are a West Coast person and we share a border with Mexico, we know that because that's our shared experience here. You have a lot of misinformation out there where people say, well, there's nobody illegal on stolen land. Number one, this land wasn't stolen. It was purchased for $15 million under the Treaty of Guadalupe El Delgado. So this is, these people, it's funny how people are listening to people who barely graduated school, if they graduate at all. These are people that just go with sound bites and everything is victimhood. In my opinion, everything's victimhood. It's racism, it's this, it's that. Now, here's my question to anybody, and I've said this over and over again. What I think this is about, to invite people to come to this country without a plan to citizenship, has something to do with the census. And what I mean by that is this. To be counted in the census, and you know this because you used to work for the census, you don't have to be a citizen. And the more people you have means the more congressional seats possibly could happen, the more votes you will get, and also federal dollars. Now, I want you guys to think about this. Obama gave the Dreamers a status early in his presidency. It's been almost 20 years and those people still not have status. Oh, well, the Republicans are, they're the one doing this. Have you ever even heard of a Democratic plan to citizenship from the Democrats? We're not even talking about getting it on the floor and passing it. They don't even talk about it because it doesn't exist. As long as these people are here, the Democrats are counting congressional seats. That's what I think that whole thing is about. Mm-hmm. Now, in regards to Miss Thang there, it's really, really funny how she talks about how great her, I just don't understand that concept. If your country is so great and it's so beautiful and it's so full of culture, what are you doing here? Because this Wednesday, I'm going to a country that's very beautiful. It's, gorgeous, fit, friendly women. I'm going there, right? I'm going because that's how I deem it. But guess what? I'm going to go there, Demetra, and I'm going to do an experiment for all of you guys out there. I am going to go to that island, no passport, no nothing, sit there and say, I want a job. I want resources. I want you guys to give me an apartment on the beach, and I want my rights. And I want you guys to watch what happens to me. Because, every country is just like the United States, and we're just going to be benevolent and just going to let me sit there and do all that. As we know, the Dominicans have a problem with the Haitians, and they're building a wall. And they are not very nice to those Haitians when they do catch them in their country. So, again, I applaud those people that are staying out of it and staying home. When I see Negroes out there that are fighting for people that will not piss on you if you were on fire. And the reason I say this too, when we needed reparations, how many Latinos did you see joining with us to make Gavin Newsom even give us a vote on that here? And I mean, what did they do to us rather than join with us? What did they do? They formed a coalition with Asians against us, and now they are trying everything in the book to guilt trip us to join them and to be crash test dummies. Don't do it. Keep smart. Do what you guys do.
Absolutely. And hey, how you doing, Brother Reggie, and everybody that's come on here? And I'm gonna get to everybody else. Yeah. And in regards to, Black people starting all the trouble, from what you guys are telling me, I haven't been really watching the news much, that it's not the Latinos, it's Black people. I was at a protest yesterday in Riverside, California. It was pretty large. It was, I would say, probably, I don't know, it's probably thousands. I would say maybe one or two,
Sure.
give or take, thousand out there. It's a lot of people. And I didn't see that many black people. It was me and my sister. We're black, obviously. My sister-in-law. And I
She's
saw,
black, Afro-Latina.
yeah, I saw, I don't know, maybe 10 black people the whole time we were there, about an hour. Out of all those people, now it was mostly Latinos, white, and I guess maybe other, but yeah, I didn't see very many black people.
Where were the Asians? Seen the Asians?
I saw a few, but not many. You know, it was mostly Hispanics, and I say whites, then maybe Asian, and then, you know, the sprinkles of black people look like, you know, some pepper, and some salt.
It's probably the homeless black people out there.
There was one homeless guy. Yes, I think he was homeless. He had some other stuff going on, but I saw a few. But you know, to say that it's black people, which is why we're not out there, right? We've gotten the memo. I think that this is nothing to do with us.
Why would we support something that is lawless? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that and nobody supports what we got going on. The case in point is look at all the things that we as Black Americans been asking for. We've been asking for reparations and a whole host of other things that our ancestors were robbed of, you know, after slavery. And Latinos, especially here in California, right? And Asians, as he said, they formed a coalition and they say, well, why should I give it to you? What about us? Yeah. That's, you know, that's taxpayers' dollars that's going, and I pay taxes, right? But here they are getting the boot to their tailbone, and they're wondering where Black Americans are. And it's not even just them, y'all. It's Black misleadership. Y'all saw Jamal Bryant and
that was so embarrassing.
Right, but Jesse Jackson, I was like, oh, he's still with us. You know, whatever the case is.
That was embarrassing.
But he was asking, was the guy Latino that asked him?
He's Afro-Latino.
Something like that. And he basically, what did he say?
He said, hey, why do you support,
jobs.
When he says, why do you support illegal immigration when it disproportionately affects Black people?
And then and Jamal Bryant was looking like a deer in headlights. Yeah, like, oh, this is off script for me. I didn't think so, you know, because see, he was thinking probably somebody like us was going to ask it. But then when that man asked, he was, you know.
But he still didn't answer it.
Wait, what he said? Well, that's not true or something like
the other guy said it.
Yeah, it's like, it is
Jamal Bryant
true.
was like this. I ain't answering that. And what Jamal Bryant is trying to do, he is trying to be the new Al Sharpton and grift corporations for money. That's all that was about. Because it doesn't make any sense that this guy who is totally, anybody that follows this man, you're out of your mind, because he does not even go by the Bible, you know, with his problems, personal problems and things of that nature. So
yeah. Hey Shayla, how you doing? I mean, so as far as us being out there, we're not really out there. Like I said, there's a few of us from what I can see. And it was a pretty large protest. Now I have seen people say that the protest, the No Kings protest, I guess was a bust. It didn't go over.
It was a bust, yeah.
That well. I don't know. I just went to one. Traveling from LA.
They don't move and shake like we do. Because even the Black Lives Matter protest that we had, even though that was a big sham, you know, when we found out the organization itself, the main organization, we still were able to galvanize a lot of people, and the corporations were afraid, and we moved it like that. And they're having these protests that they're doing. And if you think about it strategically, if I'm illegal, why would I put myself in the open like that? Number one. Number two, even if I am an American, Hispanic, or Latino, I got a mortgage payment I got to worry about. I got a car payment I got to worry about. I've got things I got to worry about. I can't spend time in jail and lose my job and stuff like that. So it's not going to move and shake like they think it is without Black participation. But again, like we said, we're not stupid, even though they think we're stupid. And we know in the Latino culture, racism is very prevalent. The darker skin you are, the worse you're treated. The lighter skin you are, it is better. Make the race better. So, you know, us knowing their truth, they can't live with it. And now they're trying to backtrack. Oh, hey, hermano. Hey, brother. Hey, sister. You know, we're people of color. We need to band together. But when we need them, they're nowhere to be found. So the good thing about this, Demetria, is we are now realizing we're by ourselves. We have to go back to what our ancestors did and build Tulsa, back up. We have to build Los Angeles back up. We have to build. No, we can get rid of Atlanta. We have to build.
Why you hating on Atlanta?
Anyway, we have to build things up for ourselves. And the thing is, we are realizing we are all we have. And we should have realized that from the very beginning. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has told us that from the very beginning. And now, we are believers.
Absolutely. And I'll get to this comment and I'll say what I'll say in a minute. It says no one wants to talk about them burning Black American women and children out of their apartments and homes. Yes, in Los Angeles.
Firebombing.
They are the brown KKK in 2028. I do believe the Democrats are not going to ask for our votes. They're going to ask them, not us. They're already trying to help them, and they're not even in office. Yeah, I mean, they got to get in there first, right?
You saw your girl Maxine, right? Crashing out.
She's still with us?
Yes. Yeah, you're on a boat. Maxine went down to demand a Hispanic organizer, some kind of union guy, and they slammed the door in her face.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And that goes to show you, look at how they will go to the carpet for other groups, but when it comes to Black issues, you don't see them. CBC didn't say nothing about the reparations. Maxine Waters didn't say nothing about the reparations bill here in California or anywhere else. They don't go to bat for us. So, we are learning, and we are learning quick.
Absolutely. Yes, Thunder. I made it. And I thought I would go out there and, see what's going on. Unfortunately, though, somebody a couple hours after we left was ran over by a car. I guess the car was trying to speed down the street, from what they're saying, and they were trying to stop it. They were hitting it and stuff. And then the car ran over a girl. I don't know how old she is. If she's all right or anything like that. But yeah, that did happen. Somebody gonna get out there and act crazy. But a lot of the videos that I've been making, I've had a lot from the Latino community say, "Oh, you're trying to divide minorities. Oh, you're causing division." It's like y'all don't care nothing about no the division or any of that stuff. Until it comes to them. That's why people talk about the Black and brown unity. But if you think about it, even from our misleadership, right? They're only talking about us joining with the brown. They never, ever, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. They never, ever talk about the brown joining with the Blacks. It's always the Blacks joining with the brown. It's like, why? Why do you need us to join? Yeah, Black misleadership, y'all do for them. They get everything. They get what we don't get,
even
right?
as non-citizens,
right.
They get everything.
But yet, when that rubber hits the road or whatever, it's like, oh, well, Black people shouldn't be standing out. Oh, we got to get in the why. What do we get? And when, I learned the term a long time ago in business. It's with them. What's in it for me?
Yep, with them.
What's in it for us as Black Americans to get with the brown, to help the brown get everything they want? Then what do we get? Because it's not, well, we're going to help the brown and then we're going to talk about helping the Black. It's like, nah, hell no. Because we didn't help y'all enough. Now it's time for y'all, if y'all really want us to help you, help us first. Because we've helped you first.
We've helped everybody first.
Somebody might be saying, well, how did we help them first? Well, hell, Democrats can't get in office without the Black vote. So Black people show up more so than anybody else and vote for the Democrats. And what do the Democrats do? The Democrats get in there and they help everybody else. And they tell us, no, I ain't gonna do nothing. Just every last one of them has told Black Americans no in regards to reparations, hate crime bills, anything we wanted that would benefit us, that's due us. It's not a handout, it's due us. They told us no. So back to this, oh, well, you're causing division. We was never together. See, we had to be together first. Now, when I say we're never together, the brown was never with the Black. But that's what they want. So be cognizant of that. It's not we getting together. It's Black get with the brown so they don't get put out. Or Trump don't do it to them. As Donovan said, you broke the law. You're breaking the law. Black people don't get, do we get the benefit of break the law?
We don't get exceptions.
We break the law, or they even think we broke the law. They lock us up and throw away the key. Right. Now, I know if y'all saw Congresswoman Monica McIvers,
yes,
they indicted that heifer,
yep,
and she's looking at 17 years. That's the Black Congresswoman that tried to bum rush up into the ICE detention center in New Jersey.
All these Black women politicians acting like crash dummies. When are they going to learn?
I hope she get every 17 of them years. You know what? I'm not down for black people really being in jail, but her black need to go for 17 years since she's so doggone stupid.
And this is her first term in Congress.
Yeah, she ain't been there that long.
Yeah, she just got elected, and now she's facing endeavor. And then she has the nerve to talk about political retaliation. It's a political.
Did somebody tell you to go put your hands on them law enforcement? I seen her do it.
Right.
Because they're like, oh, she didn't do it. She did it twice. Because I watched it. I was like, nah, she put her hands on the law enforcement. It's like.
Right. And then have the nerve to wear a bright red outfit.
You know what I'm saying? You wasn't
where you stand out.
You wasn't incognito. You was out there acting a whole donkey. You know, swinging and all kind of stuff. And whether it was an accident or not, you still put your hands on it. So at what point do you get held accountable?
Right.
So I don't know. Bogani, how you doing? Let's get to these comments. CJ, you say, he said there's even a thing about hiding the black abuelita in the basement in their culture. So that's the with the grandma, they hide her.
Aunts and uncles, yep.
That's crazy. And Frankie said, I said on my show, they're not going to be out there. The illegals, they got bills to pay and want to stay out here. A lot of actors. Yeah, they might. That's what I heard. There's a lot of actors and stuff out there.
But think about it. It makes no sense as an American with the economy the way it is. If you look at the people they're interviewing, these are probably second or third generation Hispanics that have been indoctrinated to the American culture. So they're ruined and they feel entitled. You don't see people like our age up in there, risking my job and all this other stuff with this foolishness. You just don't see it.
Right. But, black people have been doing that forever, for our own stuff, for everybody else. And even with civil rights, that even helps immigrants. I pointed to you like you're an immigrant. Are you an immigrant?
No.
It helps immigrants. That the civil rights, all of that helps them. That, and then, so when they say minorities, they know what they're talking about. Minorities, as Dr. Claude Anderson told us, that don't mean us. That means everybody else but us. So,
and that's why we're delineating. Brother Phil keeps talking about that. I'm so glad people are now recognizing we are a different class and we stand separate from everybody else, even our African brothers and sisters and our Caribbean brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
We have to delineate.
Yeah. Oh, QT, how you doing? It says, since when do we protest to be able to break legitimate law? We do protest, but to overturn or do away with abusive discriminatory laws. Right. Yeah. We aren't out here protesting to usurp legitimate ones. Yeah. It's the law, whether we like it or not, it's the law. Right. Charlene, did I say hello to you? Now, hello. It says, did you guys see when they slammed? Yep. So we saw when they slammed the door and Maxine Waters. Like, you too old to be having that done to you. You know what I mean? You should be sitting down knitting somewhere.
Congressman Waters here.
Bam. Hey, Tony, how you doing? Says, of course they're here for the money. What else are they here for? Yeah, but we know that, right? But you're staying here. You know what I mean? You're not just here for the money. You're here for everything. You're here for everything else.
Right. I don't understand this, you guys. We all know when you do something that is not right, you take a risk, right? How many of you people out there got student loans, right? You took a student loan in the hope that you'll get this high education and you'll get this great paying job. Didn't work out, right? So I want you to look at this scenario, Demetra. Okay, I'm a good person. I'm an American. I've been here all my life. But I got debt, I got a car note, I got a house note. I'm gonna go rob, steal, sell drugs, whatever I gotta do. Should I have to go to jail because even though I'm a good person, should I have to go to jail because I broke, because I took a risk and broke the law to feed my family?
No, you going to jail, homie.
Why?
If you out there robbing and stealing?
Well, yeah, but I didn't hurt anybody though. I just took the money.
Did you break the law?
Yeah.
Technically,
you
could be good.
But I'm a good person.
You can continue being that in prison.
But see, but do you guys see their rationale? Well, they've been here 20 years, whatever. It doesn't matter. You took a risk. It's like the lottery. How many of you guys take $1,000 to play in the lottery and you don't win? You just lost $1,000. You just took a risk.
Right. Well, like you said, though, they came over here because they had incentive to come over here. And I know,
sure.
I've seen a few people on my post talk about how Reagan, he had some form of an immigration, open border type thing. But it's like, even with that, he wasn't offering the incentives that Biden and Kamala, the Biden administration, were offering. These people are coming over here. They, from what I understand, they would hit the border, and they were told where they can go get a phone.
Yeah, the CAP app and do the app.
All of that.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I know some people who can't pay their phone bill.
Right.
You know what I mean?
In the Trump administration, it was remain in Mexico, which was working.
Right. And not to mention, we should, though, that Biden and them got rid of Title 42, which was, okay, we closing the border right now because that was really set in place due to COVID-19 or whatever the case is. But when Biden got in there, he was like, we getting rid of that. And, you know, open them wide open.
Sure it was Biden?
Well, right.
Are you sure
it was the person that had their hand up his back as the puppeteer. Okay, it was that person, whoever that was, right? And I see y'all comments. I want to make sure I catch up because I know I'm behind. And hello to everybody that's come on here. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Blazing Phoenix, she says, well, get thrown in the trash. Will get thrown in the trash, used and disregarded. Yeah, that's what always happens, right? Thanks, suckers. And see you next year, right? Even like with the Democrats, they do that to us. Come on and vote. What you want? You want some twerking? You want some fish?
Right, fish fry.
And then you know what? If you don't vote,
nobody.
You ain't voting, right? We get that. And then we show up, yeah, we're gonna. And then what did they do to us? What they did to Maxine? They slammed the door in our face.
Or they pushed us out of the car.
Right. They slammed the door in our face. See you in the next 4 years, right?
And then, in all seriousness, though, you guys, think about this. Okay, Kamala wasn't elected, whatever. That's not the point. But has she made a statement in regards to it? Is she still out here fighting for the policies that she championed for 4 years? Where are these people?
She did make a statement. I don't know what it said, but it was more or less like, it's wrong what Donald Trump is doing, weaponizing the armed guards and all that other stuff. California, to stay away from California, let Californians deal with it or whatever the case is. But, she ain't say nothing.
And speaking of which, real quick, I know we got to get to comments.
No, do you think?
Recently in Minnesota, there was a shooting of politicians in Minnesota. Did you hear about that?
Yes,
and what are your thoughts on that? I mean, with the climate that is going on politically.
Hey, Christina, it says they are all illegal. We ain't. We're not the same.
We're not the same.
Yeah. I don't know, because there's a lot of information still coming out. Some people are saying he was right wing. Some people are saying he's left wing, even though it sounds like he was on one of Tim Walz's boards.
Wait. I want you to realize you said right wing and left wing, right? But one thing we do know, he was a white man.
And that he was. And I guess he was a pastor or something like that. And they said he was, I don't know, he had a lot going on. It sounds like he's still missing, right? Now, let me ask y'all this.
As of this recording.
How y'all let this man get away on foot? How you get away on foot?
Are we in America? Is that a white man?
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying. Y'all saw him. They said they saw him leave because I guess the police showed up.
Are we in America?
Right.
Is that a white man?
What happened to the pew, 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 pew?
Are we in America? Is that a white man?
Yeah.
There is no law that he has to respect.
Apparently. And listen, maybe him and the dude that escaped from Louisiana, the jail.
They're linking up.
Maybe they together.
Wait a minute. I'm glad you brought that up. Because they can't seem to find the one guy you would think they would have picked up immediately with the tattoos on his face, right? You know what? You know where I think he is? Our hermanos and our amigos in Mexico have brought him in because, like the Underground Railroad, because where were all the slaves going during the Civil War? We helped you out, so you can come to Mexico.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. And I asked this one guy on TikTok when he said that. Well, you guys forget about the when they
Underground Railroad Civil War.
Mexico. I'm like, it's funny how y'all always bring that up, but gloss over what's going on in 2025 and how y'all feel about Black people.
Right, and you can't give us the numbers of the people that Mexico took in.
Yeah, y'all talk about that, but y'all don't say nothing about the stuff that's going on now. Right. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and Raven, you say to the Mexican lady who will be waiting in hell for ICE supporters, I say, no one is, you stupid. Talk about some no one is above the law.
Raven be having some good stuff on his page. If you guys get a chance, go check out Raven's page.
Crazy.
He's awesome.
Hey, Yusuf, how you doing? And I see you guys' comments. I just want to make sure I get to the bottom, then I'll get everybody else's comment as much as I can. Because there's a lot of y'all on here.
Your Thinker, my sister, what's going on?
Yes,
you guys go check out Your Logical Thinker's YouTube page. She be just having the conversations of the day. So go check it out.
Yes, please subscribe to your Average Logical Thinker, Brother Reggie, and anybody else on here. I think Frank is on here. Please subscribe to him. Let's see.
My girl, Tel Degato?
Tracy.
Yeah,
Tracy.
Tracy.
Yes.
Always trying to check me. It's Father's Day. I want some damn respect.
No. If you ain't been getting it, don't expect it today.
Well, I don't claim them kids anyway.
Right.
Just kidding.
Facts, he says, jokey joke. It says black female politicians will give their lives to defend white supremacists in the Democratic Party. Do you think that Congresswoman rather, in a red dress will put hands on the cop to defend Jerome and regular prisoners? You crazy.
No,
she ain't even going there, okay? They got their talking points. They're, marching orders. Go out there and act a donkey, for immigrants and all that. But it's like, y'all still need black people to show up and vote for you.
Right. Where's Jasmine Crockett?
You know what? I asked somebody that yesterday. I said, where is Sister Girl Sassafras? She missing.
It's in an accent.
We ain't heard her call nobody a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't called her
honey.
And no MFers. We ain't seen no, her dancing on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen
it.
We haven't seen it. Is she still with us? I don't know. Lily, how you doing? Hope you're doing well today. Let's see. Gloria says these Democrats are off the wall. You think they all are off the wall? Just to be honest with you, but the Democrats, they need us. Mm-hmm. The Republicans don't really get in office like that on black votes, but the Democrats do, and they're delusional, right?
And you know what's crazy though? I have a lot of friends, and I know you be watching my page sometimes, and we can have nice conversations. And I tell people, you ain't got to believe nothing that I have to say. But the thing is, when you have conversations and debate, the answer isn't, well, I'm going to go and get off Facebook for a while, whatever the deal is. When it's time for other people to spike the ball, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, 30 years.
Don't say that too loud.
I know. But see what I mean? For 30 years, I have to deal with ridicule, whatever, but that is part of the game, right? These people, I don't want to play anymore. And then they go run. And it makes me wonder if that's how you deal with conflict or open debate. This is why black people ain't got shit today.
Right.
You don't want to address the problem.
Yep. Sweet Daddy Kool-Aid. I am in California I love that name. I'm in California right now, but I'll be back in Texas next week.
Okay, hey, just if you're going through South Central, stay in your car or your truck. You don't want to be dragged out of there. Reginald Denny.
I was over there. Yeah, I was in LA on Friday. Rose H2O, how you doing? It says, yes, World War III is on the horizon. That's what some people are saying.
I don't believe all that.
I don't know. It's a lot going on. Did you guys know that Israel sent some preemptive bombs, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, and Iran retaliated.
Yeah.
And all sort of stuff.
Yeah. So, Israel, what they got it going on with Palestine, Yemen, Lebanon, Syria. Yeah. And now it was Iraq and then Iran. So it's like, wow.
Yeah. And the thing is, Israel has a nuclear bomb. And but the thing is, what people don't understand is we're getting distracted by this immigration thing. Do you guys realize the military budget is $1 trillion? And in 1953, the first black president, Dwight Eisenhower, said, for every gun being built, for every bullet being produced, for every airplane or tank being produced, that is money stolen out of our children and our future children's mouths.
Yeah.
Stolen. And nobody's even shaking about that. $1 trillion, and we're not in a mass war. Do you guys know how much $1 trillion is?
It's a lot.
It could pay for all the health care. It could pay for all the student loan debt. And nobody is mentioning the military budget, and we're not even at war.
Yeah. Chris, how you doing? Says, I tried to tell people months ago that they have been getting credit cards from Gap and Old Navy. He says, no one believed me. They're doing it without even having social security numbers. That's crazy because it's a credit card. I actually have an Old Navy and Gap credit card. And yeah, I think they asked
a lot
me
of the
for
stores
mine.
are turning them into like Visas
yeah,
and MasterCards.
That's what they do. Yeah.
I got a Kohl's card. I was like, what the hell is this?
The average logical thinker says, so some are saying he was paid to make Republicans look bad. So you're talking about the dude that ran off and they still looking for him. It's possible. It's crazy though. He took 2 lives and shot 2 other people. And they said he had a list of others that was on the list,
Was Maxine on the list?
I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
you don't have to worry about maxing. It's a matter of time.
She got about 5 more minutes. Michelle, did I say hello to you? Not hello. It says they arrested his wife with her passport and 3 of the kids in the car. They have 5 kids. Wow. So they was about to. So they was going probably wherever he is,
Mission
right?
Impossible. They're doing Mission Impossible. Yeah.
Hey, Tina Jackson. He says, oh my God, you guys are together. He says, happy Father's Day, Donovan. Yes, she says, I'm glad to see you guys together. So if Don gets out of line, she's right there to check him, especially that manosphere crap. Yep. One elbow right in the ribs.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got the wrong sister here. Every time I need the other sister.
She's in California.
Yes.
I don't know where she is, actually. She took off this morning and says, and mind your business. I don't know where she is. Let's see here. Facts Not Feeling says, Democrats told blacks for 50 years, guns are bad. Now we are in the brink of war, revolution, and black population is severely underarmed.
Ain't got no way to protect ourselves. Yep. Nice going.
Yeah, what do you trading your guns and he get
guns in the hood. Yep.
A gift card to the grocery store for $10.
Yeah, it only costs like $600 to get a gun, and they want to give you a $15 Starbucks card.
Yeah, no. Polo Styles, how you doing? You say it's false. Revision history is no such evidence of an underground railroad to Mexico. Oh, gotcha. So you're saying they're making stuff up.
Yeah, they're making it up. I mean, because think about it. If you're a runaway slave and you're running to Mexico, you ain't got no shoes on your feet. All you got is the clothes that's on your back. How far do you think you're going to get to Mexico? I mean, come on.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
48 TCO, thank you so much for the donation. Love it. Appreciate you. Says Latinos are nicer in bringing food to the job. Do not eat.
Them tamales.
etc. Stick to your old Negro lunches. Yes. You crazy.
Yes. Them sugar sandwiches and sugar and syrup sandwiches.
I mean, they probably mean well, but yeah, I'm good, you know. All right, let's see who else is on here. And I'm so sorry, y'all. I would love to read all of you guys' comments, but it's quite a few of you on here today, and I'm so grateful.
Yes.
Ashanine, how you doing?
I made sure they didn't forget you.
Oh, yes, thank you. Ashanine says the Mexicans keep bringing up help the Black American slave from back in the day because that's the last time they have done anything. Right. That's what I said. Yeah. You know, y'all can't think of nothing else. You know, Queen Adaya, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Jasmine, Donovan's niece. Hey. She says, happy Father's Day, Uncle.
I don't claim them kids.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's see who else on here. Patricia, how you doing? Brother Stephen, how you doing? Tell your wife to say hello. Tracy Clark, how you doing? Says U.S. is nothing but an economic machine. Everybody knows that higher education exists not for technical skills, but for higher knowledge of humanities, reasoning, and understanding. Interrupted or in your comment cut off. So I'm sorry about that. Brother Reggie, so you sounds like you coming over to the States. Do tell. It says I got to fly through LAX midweek. Ain't leaving that airport. Yeah, it's an ordeal to leave LAX.
Yeah, but the good thing is LAX, of course, is upgrading, which they constantly do. They can't expand, and so there's nice shops and restaurants in there. So
yeah. Okay, Tracy. So the rest of your comment says interrupted our schools with non-English speaking and took our school budget and obliterated it.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Let's see here. Shelly, how you doing? Says my ex and my son in the Navy following steps. Both are officers. Much respect to all that served. Yes, indeed. Donovan, why they didn't call you out there yesterday?
For what?
To the parade.
For what?
To march.
Please. Black man marching in a white man. No.
They could have had you flying an airplane over or something. I don't know.
As you know, I am politically involved in this area, so they're like, "Nah, leave him alone."
Right. You could have went right across the street, got in one of them airplanes at March Air Force Base, okay? But like, I'm coming, Trump. Sherry says, I had someone that I really cared about tell me they do not like me because I voted for Donald Trump. I'm wondering if that is that the real reason or what the real reason is. Says, when I say these Democrats are crashing out, he's crazy. They're willing to break up their family. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that, and it's so sad because a lot of people have been conditioned not to speak out and not to, they don't want to make any waves. And I get these messages from friends that I grew up with, whatever, and they're constantly telling me how they admire how I stand up for what I believe. And, and I say what I need to say. And the only reason I do that, you guys, is I'm one of those people that actually believe I earned my rights to say what I got to say. I didn't go fight this battle. I had to go do it and I have a choice, but I didn't fight this battle so Demetra could be free and she can say what she wants. I did that for me and my family.
Well, hell, I was at them bases too.
Well, yeah. I'm with you in solidarity, but you know what I mean? So I actually believe I earned my rights and I'm going to utilize them. I don't care what anybody thinks. Because like I said, I'm not saying I'm always right, but you have to respect the fact that, he's a vet. Just let him say what he wants to say because he earned that right.
He crazy.
That's fine too. Give me that check, VA. Thank you. Could you confirm that on this affidavit?
For half of the check. 48 TCO, thank you so much for the donation. Once again, love and appreciate you. Says, why Maxine out with that dusty wig gaslighting?
It's so embarrassing.
I don't think she knows at this point.
It is so embarrassing. Her staff or something, they need to tell her to sit down.
Nah, she gonna run again because she knows she's delusional.
Well, and the thing is, people understand this. Maxine won the last election. If you look at the numbers, 70% Latino vote. She does not work for Black people. She hasn't worked for Black people since forever.
And doesn't plan on until she.
Yeah. And the reason why they don't want to get rid of her, as long as she's doing what the Latinos want, like crashing out like she did, they're going to vote for her. The minute that she doesn't do the Latino agenda, she's gone.
Yep. Amber, how you doing? Says Care 11. So is that a television station? It says Minnesota interview Vance Belter's best friend of 45 years, Donald Carson, who confirmed that Bolter, the guy who, Belter, is how he said, was a conservative who voted for Trump and was strongly against abortion rights. I did hear that as well. They also say the GOP took the fact that Belter served on 2 bipartisan business councils with hundreds of volunteers and received a certificate with Wall's name on it and turned it into he was a Democrat Wall's appointee. Got it. Yeah, I did see that. But so you're saying they're pretty much lying. Poor hackers, how you doing? Says, sister, those plantations burnt the whole wide world, saw who been burning our flag. Okay, our ancestors, the only ones indigenous to the soil. Okay. Dwayne, he says, Donovan, Demetra, what about them being paid to just Google
paid protesters?
Paid protesters. Talk about that. Guess you're not talking about that. I won't bring that up. I don't have any inside knowledge. I've heard.
Yeah, there's a lot of paid protesters out there, the Democratic Party. That's what they're saying. A lot of these illegals. I mean, come on. If we're talking about the young ones. See, the young people are entitled. So if they're out there, they're getting paid. I mean, somebody's paying them. I think a donor or some kind of billionaire they're finding is behind.
Yeah.
What the rumors are saying. These are rumors.
I've heard, but like I said, I haven't researched to see if it's true, but I've heard. And few brain dead Negroes talking about they're coming for Blacks next. Yes, says we always have a target on our backs, but we've been fighting these necks for 400 years, and in spite of the issues we may have come for us, the majority of us will show up pumping blood and not Kool-Aid in our veins. Absolutely.
No, baby. They gonna come for us next. We've been here. Everything that we've been through, they're coming for us next. So
I even saw Joy Reid. She was on, I don't know, she was interviewing with the Griot, but she basically told us, and I'm paraphrasing, but this is the words she used. She says, turn off Tubi and Atlanta Housewives, Black people, and you need to get out there and help. We can't just sit back and do nothing because they coming for us next. Is like, hell, fun.
No, they might come for her because she's a first generation implant, but yeah.
But next, when did they stop coming for us?
Exactly.
I mean, they said make it sound like next, like we've just been, free as a bird, just living our life, right. And
Right. We've always been first. What do you mean next? And the thing is, the thing about that is, you got also people trying to scare people about. Oh, look, what's that plan? 2025 plan. Whatever it is.
2025. Yeah.
It's just like Brother Phil said. If you guys are watching Brother Phil, African Diaspora News Channel app, just like he said, there is nothing in the 2025 plan that hasn't already happened to Black people. So what do we got to be afraid of? They've already lynched us. They burned down our towns. They've done this. They've done that. They've done this. Mass incarceration, redlining, you name it. What the hell do we have to be afraid for?
Right.
Doesn't make sense.
But that's because they're used to the fear tactics and fear mongering and Black people.
Just like what the Klan uses, their militant arm of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, and how, when Trump got in office, like you said, plantations were supposed to be busting at the seams with black people.
Right. Slave patrols running around crazy.
Right.
But you know what's crazy is, since the Hispanics have displaced us as the number one minority group in the United States, have you noticed that the focus of white supremacy right now is on them?
Right. Oh yeah.
White supremacy is a MF for y'all.
Yep.
Let me tell you.
Backside Phillips says, actually, World War III is underway. China flying in arms at Iran as we speak. Russia got troops on the ground in Iran. Iran hitting the apartheid state with missiles traveling 20,000 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, hypersonic missile.
Yeah, that's what I heard, that Russia and China was like, wow. Because, you know, the United States, they said they're not going to get directly involved, but Trump was like, you know, I heard they're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, yesterday, or was it the day before yesterday, Trump sent $30 billion to Ukraine. See, so it doesn't matter if it's Biden or Trump. It doesn't matter what president is in office. Ever since Kennedy got killed, a president's job is to be a world arms manufacturing dealer, military dealer. That's all he does, is sell weapons and give weapons out. That's his primary job. He talks about our country's desire for peace while he sells war. Yeah.
Brother Reggie, I am so sorry that you have to travel back to the States for that. My condolences, on the loss of your father. I could not imagine. So yes, our deepest condolences. Our deepest condolences. Yeah, that's a heavy thing. So you know, take our prayers with you, as I know that's not easy, you know, to have to do.
But the good thing is, you've had that great relationship with your father, and you're always going to take that and you'll pass that on to your children as well.
Yes, Brother Stephen, my mission on the base was a lot different. I was making sure they were behaving themselves.
And she brought the girlfriends with her. So we helped you.
My delegation, that's going to be in the DR.
Yes, right.
Yes, to make sure Donovan is behaving himself. Patrice, how you doing? Says, can you and Donovan recommend some books to read during your live? Oh, what am I reading now? I haven't started. I actually read the first page on the plane. Right now I'm reading The Wealthy Barber, and he's supposed to be giving ideas and tips on how to survive in life financially. Of course, I'm always going to recommend The Message to the Black Man in America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It just slipped my mind. The Fall of America. It was like right there. Fall of America, also by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Read The Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx and Frederick Engels. Because that is very telling of what we got going on today. There's so many, but you can start with those.
Yeah, and one thing that I'm reading right now is called, it's based on the movie Casualties of War. If you guys seen the movie Casualties of War, Sean Penn, Michael J. Fox, that was actually I'm reading the book. It's a real small read, but it's a good book because it was based on an article by the author, and it was called Incident on Hill 168. This actually happened during Vietnam, and Casualties of War, directed by the great Brian De Palma, was based on that article. And it actually happened, of these atrocities that was going on in Vietnam, that the government, our government, who works in our name, tried to cover up. And they still are covering up stuff to this very day.
Yep.
Very good read.
Hey, Greg, how you doing? You know what? I do need to come back there. We need to sit down again. That was very fun. Greg, longtime friend, was at the round table we had at Walter.
Oh, so, yes.
Yeah,
I saw
we need
that.
to do it again. I actually asked Walter the last time I was here, said, hey, let's get something together. But you know, Walter mind be
chasing the money.
All over.
Chasing the money.
Next time I come back here, we'll definitely get together and do another round table. That was a lot of fun. Because imagine what we'll talk about now, right? They don't want me. They ain't looking for me.
Get her out of here.
Ice on me all you want to, okay? Black Flower, how you doing? That's actually M. It says, Joyless Reed can kick rocks with flip-flops. You crazy.
Oh, my God.
Death Before Dishonor. How you doing? Salute to you as well.
Great movie.
Let's see who else is on here that I did not see. Jobo, how you doing? Says, none of our names are on any of those immigration documents. They're going to deport me back to New Orleans.
Right. You know, and that's another thing when especially when you hear the Hispanics talk about, they're coming for you next. Number one, you have to have a country of origin to deport us back to.
Right.
We are the only ones in the diaspora that everything was taken from us when we came to this country. We're imports. We're not exports. We were wanted here.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Hey, CG says, long time no see. Yes, indeed. Patricia says, where's J-Lo, Selena Gomez, Fat Joe, George Lopez, and the other Hispanic celebrities? I always stated Hispanics do not stick together. Cubans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Ecuadorians, etc. do not stick together, especially in New York City. Yeah, and he messed around and called one of them something they not.
Right.
Oh, you're Mexican. I'm not Mexican.
I'm Dominican. I'm not Latina. Oh, I'm Latina. I'm not Dominican. You know, it's just so confusing how they just jump, because my name is Guadalupe Pina del Carlos de Sago. They got
you just made that.
Yeah. They got 4 and 5 names, and you're just kind of like, what? It's crazy.
Donovan was reaching. He's trying to find the most Mexican name he can find. It's stupid. Ray says, Demetri and Donovan, with all the uproar in Los Angeles, can Black people reclaim a big part of Los Angeles? I wish we could.
Nope.
I was there a couple days ago, and yeah, it's sad actually, because there used to be a lot of Black people in Los Angeles, but not so much. I wish we could. And of course, with the wildfires that took place, Altadena was a predominantly Black area. It's sad. I wish that we could though, but I don't know, maybe with the immigration things going on, maybe we'll start to, be able to make some moves. I don't know. Carla said, Dr. Anderson said Black Americans will be permanent underclass rather, and will be 4th at the bottom due to migrant invasion. Yep, he's been telling us that, right?
Yep.
And we've been voting for
our demise.
Yeah. Yep. Don't need. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see who else is on here. A. Davis, what's going on? He says, Happy Father's Day, Donovan. Yes, indeed, Brother Reggie. He says, I truly appreciate y'all. I had a great relationship with Pops Big Reg. Says he had health issues for decades, couldn't fight no more. He's no longer suffering. Praise God.
Praise God, yes.
Absolutely.
And as long as you remember him, they never leave us.
Lene, how you doing? Says, is Demetri reading The Art of the Deal? I'm not. I looked at it years and years ago. He talking about by Donald Trump. Yeah, looked at it years and years ago. I don't know if I'd be interested in reading it again. Maybe, but no, I'm not reading that. As The Wealthy Barber is the name of the book, and forgive me, his name escapes me. But The Wealthy Barber. Like I said, started one page and then I couldn't finish reading. I was on the plane, so I'm gonna try it again on my way back. Let's see who else is on here. Deep South, Alabama Indian. How you doing? He says, we are all here. That we are. Free the guys. How you doing? He says, miss you in Ohio. Love you guys. Yes, we were in Ohio. Hopefully one day we'll get to go back.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
I have a question for you. But Brother Phil is now taking requests to speak at events and stuff like that. Are you going to be doing that anytime soon? Or?
I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't seen it or heard anything, so I don't know.
I mean, because get out there and have these conversations among people. The revolution will not be televised. So I guess that's why he wants to.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. It's news to me. I haven't heard anything about it, but I've been out of the loop. I've been gone. Juan, how you doing? You put some Mexican flags and tacos and burritos.
All right.
All right.
Yes.
Make sure we got some seasoning on it. Ross says
Louisiana hot sauce.
Yes, the Roz, and how you doing? He says, well, Donovan was you preaching mighty good. Yes, Cynthia. And if I didn't already, I know I did. I'm gonna say it again. Hello. He says, we are doomed. We are done. The Democrats. This Black people time. This is Black people time to be cool and take a chill. Yeah, be cool and think about what we need to do to get ourselves together. Right? We've been helping everybody else. And now it's time for us to focus on ourselves.
Right. And I agree with that to a point. But you guys got to remember, the midterms are coming up. And what is the Democratic plan to counter what, even if you're against this immigration, what is their plan? Have you guys seen what the Democratic plan is? It's to get everybody upset and do nothing. And they're going to hope that things are going to get so bad that, you lose your job, this person gets cut, whatever, that you're just going to vote for them. That's their plan. We'll just let the thing go to hell in a handbasket, and then it'll be so bad that you'll just have to vote for us.
Yeah. And then you notice, too, just kind of thinking about Jamal Bryant and all of them, they got to continue to try to sell us some type of doom and gloom. Right. You got to boycott Target. Right. You got to boycott Dollar Tree. Yeah. The DEI. It's like, it's terrible. They got to keep us in that mind frame, because if they leave us alone, we'll sit and we'll actually have a thought of our own.
Right.
And we'll say, well, I'm not on any plantation.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any patty rollers other than the popo, right?
Right.
After me, and ICE is not after me.
Right.
And well, wow, we don't need the Democrats, huh?
Right. Walmart is nice and free and clear. It's not packed and stuff.
Okay. Now I ain't been in the Walmart in a minute. I do go to Target. I don't care if people get mad.
Target's been nice and clear too.
Yeah, I mean, there's black products in a lot of those stores. And so Jamal Bryant, he's a grifter. All of them are grifters.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about black people because, as I said, I live in Houston. Most of those stores are employed, have black employees, have black products and stuff. So if they really cared about black people, they would think twice. Like, yeah, we're going to put these black businesses out of business because ain't no white people really going there and buying black products like we are. And what about the black employees? Once they lose their job, do y'all have a plan B? Okay, come over here and work for us.
Right.
So.
Right. And then, you always hear about this stupid statement. Oh, well, the migrants are doing jobs that black people don't want to do. Let me tell you something about illegal immigration, you guys. If you are empathetic to what is going on, and you should be, I'm empathetic to what's going on. But the point is, the law is the law. Illegal immigration disproportionately hurts black people. And this is why. If you are a member of a union, illegal immigration undermines the union, because why should I pay an American $35 an hour to do a job when I can get a migrant that's going to do it for $7? And if you're the kind of person that thinks, well, I'm a better black person, and you want to bring in another slave group, shame on you as a Christian. Shame on you, or whatever you believe in, to co-sign on people getting slave wages that you wouldn't let your children be okay with.
Well, look what they've been doing to us in the name of Christianity. They did it to us.
Yeah,
our ancestors on those plantations, Jim Crow and KKK and all of that. The average logical thinker, thank you so much. Says Donovan, we all agree you need to practice your Mexican accent. You need to practice something, because when we went to the Costa Rica, we went to breakfast, right? You want to order breakfast, but a lot of them people that speak English.
Breakfastito.
So the guy looking at Donovan, he's trying to order. Donovan looks, he says, breakfast?
Breakfast. I didn't have my Google Translator.
He says, breakfast? And the guy was like.
But wait a minute. Give me some credit. I am trying to learn the language and the culture. These people come over here. How are you going to be in a country 30-something years, not a citizen, and can't speak the language? That's insulting in itself. At least I was trying.
Well, yeah, but you're in Costa Rica, and that man looking like, what's breakfast?
Breakfast.
Right. Sister Shirley says, good book they were. Her Property, White Women as Slave Owners in the American South. You know what? I bet you that's a damn good book, because people don't think about white women owning slaves, but
they did. They were the majority ones that inherited their husband's property. Yeah.
Well, even before they inherited, there was slave owners. There's another good series of books called "The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews" by the Nation of Islam. Their research team is some of the coldest books you will ever read, and they talk about that. A lot of white women, Jewish women, they were slave owners as well, and they have the documents in there to prove everything. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
I want to give you guys a good movie to watch if you haven't watched it. I saw it in the drive-in theater at Ruta in the 80s, and it kind of talks about what the Hispanics are going through right now here in California and around the nation. Born in East LA with Cheech Marin. Remember that movie?
I'm sure I saw it.
He was an American Hispanic that got deported.
Yeah.
He kept trying to get back over. Go check that movie out. I think you might find it on YouTube or Tubi, but look it up.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few Cheech and Chong movies. As I said, my dad used to take us to the drive-ins and fall asleep. Had no idea what we were watching, like none. Like, should we be watching this? A free mind, how you doing? Says, how do you feel or think when you seen those black people at the protest? Well, I would say there were some who were taking videos and pictures and stuff. So I don't know if that was, because that's why I was there, right? Getting footage. But then I did see some that were in the protest, and I don't know. I didn't think anything really. I just thought maybe they know somebody or whatever the case is. It
could be a family member. In California, it's not unusual to have family members because of the intermixing.
Or, they homie or something,
Right.
we're going.
Right.
And I saw one dude, black guy, he had a sign that says, Cheeto must go or something like that, so he was there for the no kings part of it, I guess. But I didn't feel any way about it, There's some black people who don't like Trump or, maybe they're for the immigrants. But I think I'd have a little bit more of a concern if I saw more of us there, because it's like, what are we doing? Yeah. When are we going to learn?
I have a question in regards to no kings. How do you have a no kings rally and yet you nominated a woman with no primary, not one vote, you installed her with no opposition, but you're having a no kings rally? Isn't that kind of hypocritical?
No, I agree with you. She skated in, no, she wasn't battle tested or none of that. She was just appointed,
right.
if you will.
So, but wouldn't that be the definition of a king that has no opposition?
I agree. I totally agree. Sunlight, it says, Demetri, the National Guards was patronizing the Mexican food vendors in LA. Is that not a crime? Well, they was hungry.
They were hungry.
From what Gavin Newsom were saying, that Trump sent them out there and they didn't have no food. They were sleeping on the floors and things like that. So I don't know if that's what was going on, but
that's kind of crazy when you got an ignorant governor that's talking about they're sleeping on the floor. Where is the army supposed to sleep in a combat situation?
Yeah, well, that's what I saw a lot of people say too. That's what service people are trained to do.
You sleep wherever wherever you're supposed to sleep. Excuse me, is my hotel room ready?
That would have been me.
Right. Well, if you're in the Air Force, and those of you guys that are in the Air Force or in the military, have been in the military, we know that the Air Force, we go back to the hotel, because during the last wars, I would go downrange, pick up troops, whatever I got to do. End of the day, I'm checking in the Rhinestein Hotel in Frankfurt or by Rhine, Maine or something like that.
Yeah, I'm a major. Okay, so I need to be at the hotel. Okay,
but but that's kind of crazy. Where there's sleeping on the ground. Where do you think the army sleeps?
Right. And so I did see that. Barricade says a lot of black celebrities who are from California never talk about the number of black Americans in California. Do y'all know the real number? Well, I would tell you, Donovan lives out here. I'm a Californian. I'm born and raised. I've only been gone about 4 years. I'll be back. But from what I've seen, I haven't seen a lot of black people. And somebody said, I can't remember who it was, but there's not a lot of white people here either. Now, they have their spaces.
Beverly Hills and stuff like that, San Diego.
But you mostly see Hispanics, and then I would say Asians. Yeah,
40% of the California population. No, it's more than that. It's like 46% of the population of California is Hispanic. California, as far as specific to black people who identify as black, is less than 6% and falling.
Yeah. Juan, you say, an agent black, how you doing? He says, Juan says, Demetri, I'd love to hear your thoughts on black and brown. Well, as I said earlier, there is no black and brown coalition. And Juan, I'm assuming you may know this, and I'm not sure which Latino you are in regards to Mexican, Puerto Rican, or whatever the case is. But LULAC, who represents all Latinos, their presidents and other people who are associated with them in the 50s and 60s have made it clear, of course they're not here anymore, that they are not interested in aligning with black people, let the Negro fight his own battles. Oftentimes they, one of them, I can't remember which organization he was with. I know he was associated with LULAC, but he says, we're kind of white anyway. We identify as white. So then when you say, what do I think about black and brown? There's never been any black and brown unity, but when everybody talks about black and brown, they usually talk about the black getting with the brown to help the brown. No one really ever talks about the brown helping black people. And if you think I'm lying, prove me wrong. I haven't heard it even from our misleadership. I'll never think of them as our leaders. And I think they know that as well. But just to digress, even them, they say, oh, we got to get together. But when black people getting our tailbones kicked in every which way, you never hear them say, oh, well, a brown community, where you at? You never hear them do it. But when the brown people got something going on, they want to bring black people. Oh, y'all shouldn't be watching Tubi. Y'all need to come on out and help. Come out and do what? Because when we get locked up, pew-pewed up and none of that, they're going to go about their business. So what, we're expendable to help everybody else. So I know it's convenient now for the brown to talk about where the black's at, but we've been wondering where y'all been at.
When we had reparations, where were they at?
Yeah, telling us, I don't want to pay for that.
Right. But as a citizen of any country, any debt that country incurs, as a citizen, if you liked it or not, you have to pay for it. When we go to war, I don't know anybody that I know of personally that's like, yeah, let's go fight in Iraq. But they put that on the credit card and we have to pay for it. So you just can't come in here and pick and choose what you're going to pay for as a citizen, nilly-willy. If you're a citizen, you incur the debts that the country endures. That's part of being a citizen of a country.
Right. And let's see here. 48 TCO, thank you once again for the donation. He says, I know, Donovan, not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing.
And Arthur, you say Jamal Bryant looked stupid when the man asked him a question. He couldn't say nothing. He was like somebody had to put peanut butter in his mouth. It was his mouth was stuck closed.
Yeah,
oh,
the
absolutely.
Guy's a clown. The guy is a clown. I want to say hi to CJ too. She's been out there.
Oh yeah, CJ. Did I say hello to CJ? I'm sorry if I didn't. Forgive me. Mm-hmm. Day, how you doing? Says I hate the idea of Americans don't want to do the job. We just don't want to do it for abysmal wages.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
It's like, are you crazy?
Exactly. Why aren't they? If they're going to bring these people in here, they should be paid a living wage. I don't care if you're illegal or not. If you're going to hire them, they need to be paying a living wage. But if that's the case, then hire American. Why hire an illegal if you got to pay regardless?
And that's where the problem is. Mm-hmm. You got these corporations, whatever the case is, they don't want to pay a living wage, you know, but then they want to hire people and not pay them a living wage, but then they cry about them coming. So it's like, just pay people a living wage.
Right, and you want to have this problem.
I'll go pick some, I don't know about no cotton. I might have to draw the line. But a strawberry or something for $25, $30, I'll be out there.
With benefits. Exactly.
I put my suntan lotion on. I'd be out there picking the strawberries.
Exactly. You know, to me, that is a bull crap argument when they say they do jobs. Okay, put it like this. And I was arguing this on my show. Some of you guys were on there. You have these jobs, okay? If you say, what are black jobs? At the end of the Civil War, what did you think black people did in regards to after the Civil War and they were freed? They pretty much did what they did when they were slaves. Servicing industry, porters, skycaps, cooks, nannies. Your grandmother was a domestic, correct?
Both of them.
Both of them. That's what we did. These were entry-level jobs. They ain't great jobs, but you got to start somewhere.
Right.
And if you let these other people come in, I have roaming teenagers, black teenagers in my city right now, and they can't get a job. You want to know why? Because they can't speak Spanish.
Yep. And that's a fact, Jack. Juan, you said we are the original people. You're original people to Mexico, but don't forget you come from the mother of civilization, and as a black woman.
That's right.
Okay. Just make sure you jot that down. While you saying you're the original people, make sure you're original to where you come from, Mexico, because I see the Mexican flag, but you come from the mother of civilization, a black woman.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Make sure you note that down.
Absolutely.
I want you to remember that.
And this land is United States land because we purchased it.
Right. Brother Reggie says, I remember years ago, my father called me while he was on a cruise in Mexico. He wanted to know how to say library in Spanish. I said El Buco. See?
A real American. You're a real American.
They was looking at him like, yeah. Hey, one who cares. How you doing? Hope you're doing well.
Who cares?
Queen Adaya, you say that's why. Oh, where'd he go? That's why white women have a dislike for melanated women because she knew her husband was having his way with melanated women against their will. Yep, didn't want to be with her. You know, let me be quiet.
Keep it PG.
Timothy, how you doing? Thank you so much. He says, hello, you two. Glad blacks are sitting it out. I am too. It's really refreshing to see that, you know, because oftentimes, you know, we get out there and get I don't have my raccoon with me, is at home, but live from New York City. How you doing? Thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. You say most illegal immigrants don't come from dire circumstances like the media has people believing. USA is just a cheat code for them. You know what? I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Absolutely. Because think about it. The people that are dirt poor, the mestizos in Mexico and places like that in Central America, they're too damn dirt poor to even make the movement. You got to get a coyote to move you.
Right.
That's thousands of dollars. So there you go. You're right.
Hey, Magneta. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. And that wasn't
Tom
Carlton.
Jones.
Yep, that was Tom Jones, who just, I saw it. He had a birthday. I think he's like 85 or he's up there, you know, but yes, indeed. And welcome. Oh, we've been here 15 minutes over.
That's okay.
All right, we got time.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Got to catch you up.
Got to catch up. Let's see. Pop, how you doing? Says, I am proud of belonging to I knew you wasn't going to act right. I knew you wasn't going to act right.
But do you guys want to know what is another great thing about sitting this out? We could look at what is going on and critique it so that in future things that we could do in the modern day, we would know how to market ourselves in another situation if we had to go to the streets.
Mm-hmm. Doretha, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says Blessed Father's Day to you.
Thank you.
Father, and Demetra, and to you, Donovan. Yes.
Thank you.
Or to my father. I was like,
Yes.
oh, Father. To my father. Yes. Thank you. I actually need to call him. He was at the mosque earlier, so I'll give him a call.
What Demetra's not telling you is when they get together with their dad and they get on the boat, the first day Pops is preaching. He's in the book, and they got to sit there like this.
Nah, no, he wasn't no preacher. He was washing the water. Walaikum salam to you, Speed.
I saw his feet up on the wall. What's going on? He was chilling.
Hey, Marjorie, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. You got a whole lot of acronyms there. Let's see. Who else?
Marjorie, I love that name, Marjorie.
And Cloudness, you says, get the F out of here with that manners. Ain't no alliance. Yeah, well, it is, and as I said, in regards to blacks helping the brown, but they don't ever mean it the other way around.
It isn't reciprocal.
Timothy, thank you once again. He says that Juan, I think it's too late for black and brown. Yeah, I mean,
I think it's 60 years too late.
But they never wanted to be with us. I'm gonna tell you something my dad told me years ago. He says the Mexican does not want to be the new N-word. So they're gonna do whatever they can to be white adjacent. Yeah, and to surpass black people because they don't want to be seen as the N-word, if you will, right? And unfortunately, a lot of them, they look at us that way. I don't want to do nothing with blacks. Don't associate me with blacks, and all that.
Make the race better.
Yeah, but, as the Latina said earlier in the video clip, they got the vibes, the culture, the history, Then why y'all knocking on our door? Why y'all bothering us? And let's keep it a buck. That sounds like what we be saying. Anybody got any original thoughts? Yeah, those are our talking points. Yep. Ain't nobody got nothing original. Like, make up your own stuff. Don't hijack and plagiarize our stuff.
And if you guys do your history on the Latin culture and the Latin diaspora, Mexicans feel that they are better than most Latins because they share a border with the United States. How many of you guys knew that? That's why they have like an arrogance about them.
Yeah. Pay me, how you doing? He says brown has internal unresolved issues with race and color. They do, and I think we do as well.
But think about it. That has to do with psychological warfare. It's kind of like being in a concentration camp and they're beating the crap out of you. Come on now. I mean,
right. Roots Tracker, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Long time no see. Who else is on here?
Black Butterfly. I love that.
I do too. Because I'm a black butterfly. Yes. Denise Williams. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's see. Who else haven't I seen? I see you guys' comments. I just want to make sure I get everybody. John Q, how you doing? Says it's not merely paying them less. That's paying. It's forfeited with government benefits. So you're saying so they're getting less, but they're still getting the government benefits, which is probably more than they would get if,
I'm going to Brazil.
Which makes sense, yeah.
I'm going to Brazil and I'm demanding my rights over there. I'm going with no passport. I'm just showing up. And I better get the rights that I deserve.
Good luck. Sister Shirley says, if I'm not mistaken, I heard that Kamala gave South Asian people $4.6 billion to start an upgrade business.
She did. It was in the Asian crime bill. It sure was.
But she told us, no. Right? Christina, how you doing? Says America's obligated to provide for and protect the citizens. That includes black people. But it always excludes black people, right?
We got to fend for ourselves.
Yep. Yeah. Iris, how you doing? Says they are here for the advantages. What they do over here, they can't do nothing where they come from.
But see, that doesn't make any sense. You got all this energy to demand your rights in another country, but you can't do it in your own country?
Yeah, but you come over here and you can get it hot and popping, but you can't get it hot and popping. Like, what's different? Right. I mean, you might be making a little bit more money, but the cost of living in Mexico is not what it is out here either. Right. Which is why you have a lot of Americans moving to Mexico, a lot of white people moving over there and jacking up their economy.
Matter of fact, there's over 1 million Americans that live across the border in Tijuana. How many of you guys know that?
Yeah.
And they come across daily because they used to live in the San Diego area. your average logical thinker, she's from San Diego. She'll tell you she probably knows some people that live in Mexico and commute in and out.
Yeah, and they over there acting crazy, you know, and entitled like they do everywhere else. They better be careful over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Brother Don says The Other America, 1959 by Michael Harrington. The chapter, If You're Black, Get Back, discusses how immigration was weaponized using the Latinos as a buffer in the 1950s against blacks in America.
Yeah. And then you think about it now, you know, we take this narrative against the Hispanics, and you know, and there's a big difference. There's Hispanics, and I have a lot of Hispanic friends in the military and whatever. We're not talking necessarily about that group in particular. But what I found, Dimitri, is the people that came here and went through the process, they don't want these other people here, because in some situations it took 7 to 9 years for them to gain their citizenship the right way, and all of a sudden these people show up. And it's making it difficult for, you know, them that are legal citizens to, you know, live. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, we came the right way. Why should you cut the line and do what you know, just be here? It just doesn't make sense. And then we're in Southern California. A lot of Hispanics, and they don't report this on the news, a lot of Hispanics do not want U.S. citizenship. Yeah, they've got property here, whatever. My neighbors, right in this cul-de-sac, they have property in Mexico that they take their money and they ship it over there, and they build up the property in Mexico.
Right.
They're not interested in American citizenship. Now, I don't know why they're here for 30 years, but I do know they go back and forth on weekends and holidays to go sit at the casa on the veranda and do their thing.
Right.
They're not interested in citizenship. They just want the money to build up their situation.
Yep. A brand says, open your eyes. She says, who is asking you guys to help? Even though we are not asking, we stood by you during BLM.
Oh,
and all the
during
Mexicans,
a fraud thing, Black Lives Matter thing. Yeah, great.
It says all the Mexicans that come here to work. Like I said, no one asked you guys for one thing. You would lie. You would lie. And then you stood by us BLM doing what? What were you doing during BLM?
Right.
What were you doing? And let me ask you this. Great. Let's say you stood by us during BLM. Are you willing to stand by us to get reparations? You said they come over here. He says all the Mexicans that come over here to work. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? And there's no problem with them coming over here. Come over here the right way.
Right.
I don't know if I could just show up somewhere in Mexico and say I'm here to stay. I don't need no paperwork and give me a job. And, you know, I don't know if I could do that there. But you guys are asking us for help. Stop lying and kick it.
Right. For every job that an illegal takes, that's a job an American citizen can't have.
J Music, thank you for the donation. Love it. Appreciate you. Wow. He says, tell those Mexicans to go back to Mexico, FBA for life. Well, I ain't got to tell them. Trump and them is telling them, you know, but as I said to somebody too, there are more Latinos over here legally than illegally. Right. You know what I mean? So why aren't those people, and I know there's some, but why aren't they speaking out about it? Like, hey, we're here legally, whether we're born here, whether we came here with paperwork. Why aren't they saying anything about it? So I do want to dispel that. There's not more illegal, and illegal immigrants aren't just Latino either. They're from the motherland, Africa. They're from the Caribbean. They're from all over.
Ukraine.
From Asia. Right. They're all over. So it's not just Latinos, but for whatever reason, it does seem to be an emphasis on the Latino community that's here illegally.
And you want to know why? Because as the #1 minority group, you are a direct threat to white supremacy. So now the thing is on you.
Yeah. Ernest says America will suffer the same defeat as Rome with a flock of immigrants in the country. It's insane to think anything different.
Black Butterfly says she's right there in San Diego. Black Butterfly, am I correct in some of the people that Americans that live in Mexico and do the crossings and stuff?
Yeah, and Dwayne, you say, why would we go out there to support breaking the federal law illegally invading America?
And catch a case. I mean, you know, they're already mass incarcerating as it is. We're going to go out there and I'm going to risk losing my job and not being able to pay for my home. And
I mean, and then the attitude of, and they accuse black people of, well, we didn't do nothing, right? They accuse us of that. But the attitude of some of the immigrants is like, well, we just over here to work. It's like, wait a minute now. You glossing over the fact that you broke the law. Why is that like? Why can't that be comprehended? I'm confused by that. We're just over here. That's just like me just going up into, I don't know, the bank. I'm just here.
Right. Okay?
Keep on. I'm just here to get a couple of racks.
Right.
No, they don't know. They don't belong.
And you're a good person.
Yeah, I'm just here.
Mm-hmm.
Open the bag, lady, and put the racks in my bag.
Right.
It's insane. And we're supposed to say,
yeah,
well, since you put it like that,
right, yeah, I'm just here. Yeah.
Go right ahead. And then while you're at it, because a lot of immigrants that come over here, and no shade to them, but they come over here, and the first group of people they like to, be adverse to is Black Americans. Yep. We're the first group. White people, as Donovan says, see, y'all like to come over here. Y'all like to get the housing, the money, the food, the medical care, the education, but you don't want the racism of the white man.
Exactly.
Why do you think you're special?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, thank you. I don't want that.
Right.
Okay.
Come get all that this white man has to give you. You know?
And disappointed Democrat, he says, I'm so glad that our Black people are minding their own business and letting them learn what we all know. I'll be 76 in July.
Yes.
He says, and I still don't trust too many that don't look like us. We are all we got. Yes,
and the thing is, it's not just minding our business. We need to learn. Demetra says it all the time. Minister Farrakhan says it all the time. Don't laugh. Learn. Learn what's going on.
Yep. Hey, Michael Pan, where you been? Hope you're doing
Michael's
well.
Around. He's been sending me those emails and stuff. I be reading them and printing them out.
All right. Darius, what's going on with you? Let's see. Juggernaut, he says most countries, people have a treaty that he says I have a treaty that us acknowledge and respect, and because Black First has no diplomatic protection, I believe that is the reason why they don't respect our demands for reparations.
Right. So what he's saying is because we don't have a homeland that will advocate for us.
Yeah.
They're like, who's gonna check me, boo?
Right. Well, that's fine. Mm-hmm. We just won't advocate for nobody else.
Right, exactly.
Computer Blue, he says all that Mexican culture she's trying to bra about music and food all derives from Africa. Come on now.
Well, and you got to think about this. Okay, for all you bleeding liberals out there and right-wing liberals and bleeding hearts, if you don't have borders, you don't have a country. So what are you saying? Everybody should just cross over and we lose our sovereignty? We're America and we're great because we have borders and people want to come here. If you don't have no borders, I can sit in Australia and say, yeah, I'm good over here. Right. You got to have borders. That's why the European Union is having problems because they don't have borders.
Right. So let's see here.
You lose your sovereignty. You lose your right to speak.
Tracy said, okay, so open your eyes have been kicked out. Okay, well, he's going to have to open his ears too because you say he can't hear me. My moderators, y'all know best. I'll leave it up to y'all. And thank you so much for everything that you do. JJ, how you doing? Yes. Roland's review. How you doing?
Yes. Roland, you always come on just before we come on. And so I got to see half of your show, then I see it after we're done here and I finish the rest of it.
Yes, and please follow Roland as she drops a lot of knowledge as well. Sherry says if they were out there saying Brown Lives Matter too, waving their flags, hell, we don't like the work. We don't need those jobs. They were our jobs, first construction jobs, nanny jobs. Please try that issue with somebody else that don't know. Yep.
Good paying construction jobs. And by the way, you guys, do you guys want to know why you see these Hispanics running around in the streets and cutting off the freeways as LA has some of the worst traffic in the world? Karen Bass was married to a Latino man. Karen Bass has a Latino daughter. Do you guys notice she is very soft on crime? You guys notice that?
Yeah.
Because she caters to the Latino community. Most of the city council of LA is dominated by Latino council members. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but what I'm saying is
representative of the people that voted for them. Yeah.
Exactly. What I'm saying is when these people get in there, they don't just gentrify us in our neighborhoods, they gentrify us politically to where we have no voice.
Yep.
And we heard what those LA councilmen had said on the mic and got caught.
He's with the blacks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Timothy, thank you so much once again for that love and appreciate you. Says, and D.L. Hewley still the Dems house. Yep, he is.
Where's Jennifer Lewis?
Is she still with us?
Y'all done fucked up now.
Right. The slave patrol is coming to get you.
Exactly.
Malcolm Rex, how you doing? Says they wanted a new group of indentured servants. Yep.
Yes, and that's what it is. White supremacy. That's how they live. They said, you know what? These black folks are too advanced now. We can't deal with them. We need to bring in other people that are willing to be slaves. Simple as that. Like I said, what is that? What do they make a day in China? They make like $3 a day if they work in a factory in China. I don't know what they make in Mexico, but when are we going to start seeing CEOs of these companies being prosecuted and going to jail for hiring illegal immigrants?
Right. They don't want to have that conversation. Norma says there's more legally because it's a damn train wreck with Hispanics. Divided states government allows people to ask for their children parents, and then the parents ask for her children and the comment cut off.
Yeah. You know, separating children. What is your thought about that, Demetra? Oh, how could you guys be so, how would you feel if your mother just, they just arrested her and, and you're just separating families? How did you feel about that?
It's funny because I had somebody say that to me yesterday. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's not right, this, that, and the other. I said, no, it's not right. It's optically speaking, visually speaking. Mm-hmm.
But you broke the law.
It's terrible. Mm-hmm. But I said, and I asked her, I said, would you go somewhere that you knew
risk? You took risk.
Yeah, it was risky and adverse to you. Would you take your children there? She says, no. I said, so why? What's the difference? Why would you, when even Kamala, I don't know if she meant it, but she stood on the border and told them, okay, don't come over here, even though they didn't change any legislation. The Trump administration told them the same thing.
Yeah, you come over here, we're going to prosecute. Yeah.
To the full extent of the law. So you come over here, and it's not new to the Trump administration or even Kamala, but Obama was doing it. He's still to this day considered the deporter in chief.
Yeah, he's deported.
He was the one that had the kids in cages. I know they attribute that to Trump, but it was Obama that had the kids in cages.
Yeah.
So you knew all that was going on, and you still come over here. That's like saying, well, I'm going to go into the lion's den. I'm going to take the children with me, and hopefully we go out on the other side unaided.
Right. You're taking a risk.
So, I asked that person, I said, so what responsibility would you have as a mother for taking your children somewhere that would be harmful to them? She says, I didn't think about it that way. I said, It's the same thing. Nobody's saying that they'd like to see that, but that's something you have to bear some responsibility.
Exactly. So in the 90s, when Black people were being, and in the 80s, when Black people were being separated from their families, fathers being incarcerated and stuff, did you hear any Hispanics talk about? I remember in the 80s listening to it from Japan. I would come and visit, and the Hispanics were pretty much solid, talking about, well, I shouldn't break the law.
Right.
Why are you selling drugs?
Right.
They rightly so. They're putting the onus on the person who took the risk.
Exactly.
But now it's them. But my mother, she's a good person. She still took the risk of breaking the law.
Yeah. And that has to be talked about. Khalil, how you doing? Says Houston is not so good. In regards to what? Because I live there.
They did close Bassinet for anybody that wants to know.
Oh, I ain't got nothing to do with no Bassinet, okay? That guy from Texas, how you doing? And he doesn't know anything about Bassinet either.
Buckhouse, my brother.
Yes, Buckhouse. Where you been?
Buckhouse ain't having it, okay?
Okay, we know.
He ain't having it.
Brother Reggie says, I was arguing with my sister Saturday night. She supports the illegals and said there's not enough Americans to do them jobs. Girl, get out of here.
Please, with all these Americans that own student debt loans that Biden is going to make you guys pay, please.
Yeah, they unfortunately, there's a lot of our people that just don't know, right? Yeah. Timothy says, damn, Demetra, is she still with us? I just be having to ask, are these people still with us? We don't see them. We have to be concerned. Are they still with us?
Yeah, because you don't see them.
Yeah.
And legends are dying every day.
Right. And speaking of which, Ananda Lewis,
oh my God,
I knew she was sick. But
I remember she had a double mastectomy last year, so she was going through it. I would have hoped she would have lasted longer.
Than
that, but 53 years old.
Yeah.
Beautiful girl.
Beautiful. Never rat on your friends. As Trump is starting to look like Biden in the podium yesterday, Trump wants to be just like Biden. What do you mean, like slumped over and tired? And
weekend at Biden's. They're gonna make a movie on that.
Right, you ain't lying. Okay. And I'm just trying to see, acknowledge everybody have not
Yes.
acknowledged. I think Charles, how you doing? Says they was brought in to do work we wouldn't do. That's what a formal president said. Yeah, we ain't gonna do it for no $2 a day.
No, exactly.
Nah, hell no.
Living wages. Do you guys realize the American wages have been stagnant for over 30 years? Come on, you guys. Americans will do those jobs if you pay what the job is supposed to be paying. If you work construction, are you going to work construction for $7 an hour? And you're a skilled labor person? Of course you're not. Of course you're not.
And it's stupid to think that people are. You know, hell, you can go collect cans for that. You know.
And then if you're a business owner, why would you open a business where people, you as the owner, have to break the law to get people to work that job?
Yeah. Arson, how you doing? You say, hey, good evening, joining late. Okay, this is very particular. This is all very particular. Now, it's really great if you want to help immigrants, but bottom line, blacks can't afford to do it at this point. Too many other issues. You said a mouthful right there. Yep.
I mean, I'm empathetic to their situation, but I'm not going to catch a case for people who wouldn't piss on me if I was on fire.
Right. Yes, Tracy, Ananda didn't want to have a mastectomy. I was watching her sister talk about it today. Yeah, she regrets doing it. Yeah, sad. Yeah, Spider-Man, I see you talking to Golden State contributor. He's looking for attention. Venus, how you doing? Mm-hmm. It said Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander is something to read. I have that. I got so much. I'm so behind. I'm reading. It's crazy. Let's see.
Oh, and by the way, we saw you in your burqa by the pool on the thing. Fully, just eyes.
That's it. You see my eyes are tanned. Brother Todd, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. You say Trump ain't God. If the Mexicans are coming here uncontrollably and having children left and right, it's only by God's permission. Mexicans will be coming here long after Trump is gone. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness of thereof. America don't belong to nobody. I mean, amen. I agree with you on that one, but just don't ask us to help them when they're not helping us. Right, you know, exactly. I think that's where it's unfair. The acts are uneven. We're supposed to, help them. And in a perfect world, it's the way we should help each other, right? But why are we going to help somebody who ain't going to help us? Exactly. So you're right. It doesn't belong to us. The earth belongs to God and all of that. But Black Americans need to focus on what we got to be focusing on. Patrice says, why are these politicians and Hispanics complaining Obama, the deporter-in-chief, deported according to reports 1.6 million during his first term, 1.5 during his second term. Clinton, George W. Bush, George W.H. Bush deported illegal immigrants. They all did. Yep. But maybe they didn't do it. They did it a little bit more esoterically, I think. Yeah. Trump is just like,
under the second Bush, 5 million people came across the border in his term. That was just in 8 years, 5 million. In 4 years, it is predicted 11 to 27 million people have been let into the country. There's not enough Black people to do some population to catch up to those numbers. They're wiping us out.
Yeah. Valiant Thor, how you doing? Says, if you sneak into Disneyland, should they let you stay if you get caught?
Yes.
And once you've been caught, should they give you meal money and let you ride the rides for free?
Absolutely.
Per that logic, yes, you should. Yes. And matter of fact, give you a pass to come back the next day.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
And put you up in one of those beautiful Disneyland hotels.
Resorts. Right, exactly.
Do it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Good point. Jen Jones, how you doing? Says the perfect group of Americans who should help are Puerto Ricans. So they should help or they should be helped. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think should be helped.
Okay. And Herschel, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Just me, what's going on? Says Black men better be careful on those work sites. They'll set Black men up to get hurt at work. They're very negligent.
Oh yeah, Brother Phil talked about this. They set us up to be hurt at work, and they set us up to be fired. That's why I hear young people that are working these Amazon warehouses, and it's like nightmare stories of how the Mexican becomes a supervisor, and next thing you know, this person gets fired, and then they're bringing in their cousin.
Oh, listen, I used to work at Frito-Lay. I've seen it all day, every day. Okay, I see it all the time. They do a lot of gatekeeping. A lot of gatekeeping. And that's nothing new. And thank you, Cloudless. I appreciate you for that. Vince, how you doing? Says, I saw Latino protest sign in Portland, Oregon that read justice for blacks and all immigrants. They're putting us out there without our permission now. Yeah, it's like, come on now. And Brother Todd says, you're right. Oops, where'd he go? It says, I'm not helping them do ish. Yeah, we can, you know, as I said, I don't wish any ill on nobody at all. I don't. This is not, none of this is coming from a F you, and I hope you, no, I don't, because you know, we got to be careful we wish on people, but it's high time that Black Americans start helping ourselves. When we get everything we need, if everybody else is open to that, then maybe we can, you know, talk about that. But we're miles away from even having that conversation.
And the thing is, you guys got to remember, we need to make a stand now, not for us. It's too late for us, for our children and our grandchildren. If we don't stand now and do a reset within our community, our kids aren't going to have a chance. There aren't going to be no jobs. These people are 40% of the population already.
Right.
So we got to make a stand now. It's now or never.
Yeah. David, how you doing? Says, love seeing you two together on live. Yes, indeed. It's old school.
We got to get her sister on here. Well, if your sister was here, there would be no show.
Between you and my sister, you two would be like, we're cutting you off and we're going to see if we can file charges on you. Somehow, I know you broke a law somewhere.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Brother Todd says, by the way, it says, where'd it go? Did I skip it? It skipped the point. It says, by the way, I love it when you and Donovan sit side by side and host a show much better than different locations. This way, Donovan gets all of his points across in real time. Yes, I totally agree. You know,
if you guys get a chance, go back and see some of our early videos. I mean, we really had a good a rapport and stuff like that. And she'd kick me and do all kinds of
stuff. Under the table, yes. Yeah. Hello, Yamel. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. I think we got to the bottom. Dark Child, how you doing? Says, I mentioned reparations, and the Spanish guy on my job said, man, F reparations.
Wait. I got a question for you, Dark Child. Aren't you living off residuals? Isn't that Dark Child from...
You stupid. Destiny Child?
No, Dark Child that does the music.
Yeah, Tony Braxton.
Yeah, Dark Child.
Yeah.
What happened, brother?
Dark Child. Yeah.
Great name.
Jen Jones says, my family came here in the 1960s legally, no government assistance. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And back in those days, even if you got a visa or a alien card, you were not supposed to do any, you're supposed to support yourself, get a job and all that other stuff, but you weren't eligible for public services. You couldn't get welfare. You couldn't get those things. You had to support yourself.
Yep. Molly Cakes, how you doing? Says, they're not our friends. Tread with caution. Yeah, they don't want to be our friends.
And think about this. Notice that the Hispanics ain't saying this. Oh, Donald Trump's targeting us. Did not Donald Trump just put out a 12-nation ban?
And it's about to add some more.
Right, exactly. And I think on that ban, number one was Haitians. I don't think Jamaicans were on there. Haitians, a bunch of some African countries and some stuff like that. So when they sit there and they talk about racism and all this other stuff, we're constantly being berated in our people. So we can flood this place full of Latins, but we can't flood it with the African diaspora?
Right.
Come on.
Yep.
It's all about racism. That's all it's ever going to be about.
Yes, indeed. Brother Reddy says, that ain't Dark Child that produced Brandy.
Dark Child.
Marjorie, did I say hello to you? If I didn't, hello. He says, anyway, I'm going to sit this one out. I marched for justice for George Floyd in Salt Lake City, Utah, and that was it.
And didn't get a dime in the Black community. Nope. One of the biggest scams. And, you know, when I hear a Hispanic bring up Black Lives Matter, I said, so you want us to give you flowers for supporting one of the biggest scams of the Black community?
Yeah, and think about it. We marched for George Floyd, and everybody else got some.
The LGBT community, all these people
got a hate crime bill, and we got
nothing.
Kente clause.
Yeah, wait. Could you help me up?
Right. When they got up, their knees were. Simo, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you. And Tracy says our teens also can't find employment because seniors can't afford to retire. The senior citizens and some people who aren't working those jobs that teenagers would have worked at.
Yep. McDonald's, your first, you start your work ethic. But another thing is I want to tell you guys, if you're grandparents and if you're parents and you've got kids that are still in school, You need to go to the school board meetings and advocate for bilingual translation in schools, because that is going to help these kids by the time they're teenagers to get a job. You know what I mean? And it's more viable for your school not to have a bilingual program. It's detrimental to Black children. It is detrimental to Black children. They have to learn a second language. You don't have to, but it's a tool to put in their back pocket.
Right. So anyway, we're going to get out of here.
Yes.
As we've been on here almost 2 hours. I'm starving, and my family's probably like, she said she was going to be gone an hour.
What is Elena cooking?
Nothing. Jeremiah's barbecuing. It's Father's Day.
Oh, that's what?
Don't men barbecue on Father's Day?
Professor Smitty is.
No, he's not. I'm actually going to take something back. They're probably like,
we're the cakes and stuff like that.
Right. I don't know about no cakes, but anyway,
Yes.
love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I won't be back live here until probably Thursday because I'll be traveling. Unless maybe I won't be back here live because I got a lot of stuff to do while I'm here.
And you got to catch up.
I got a lot of stuff to do. And Donovan is going to, to take care of some medical business.
Yes.
In the DR. So
it's either that, Panama, the Philippines, or Thailand. What do you want me to do?
Right. You do what makes you happy. Hey, Asha, how you doing? You say happy Father's Day to Donovan.
Girl. Yes. Oh, by the way, check out my girl Asha on Facebook. Asha, I think you have a YouTube page. Asha is doing spoken word.
All right.
And she does it very well. Very well. Go check her out. She dropped this one poem. I was like, oh my God. So if you guys are in the spoken word, go check out my girl Asha.
All right. I see you, Michael. Thank you so much.
Right there in Las Vegas. She did it right there in Las Vegas.
All right. I have to check her out. Yes. Thank you for the safe travels because, the planes be.
No, that was for me, not you.
No, she said safe travels for me. I got to get back home, okay? I know y'all saw the airplane going from India to London.
Yes. Yes.
And how that one man survived?
Where was he seated?
It was below, but he's in the exit, but he was in front of the wing, though.
Right, he was in front of the wing. Yeah, he got lucky.
I don't know. I think he got something else going on.
Yeah, always sit in the back of the airplane because in any crash, what is the last thing to survive? The tail. The tail is always.
But I sit back there, I be, because, all the motion sickness and stuff. It's like, Lord have mercy.
And the bathroom. You're near the bathroom.
Yeah, man.
Their backwind kind of as they go up to the aisle.
Oh, my God.
If you want to arrive there safely.
Yes, I'm going to get there safely because God ain't through with me yet. Yes. Common man, and we haven't seen you in a long time.
Yes, and I want to bring this up too. African Diaspora News Channel app, 19% off. You guys, please go subscribe, annual subscription, 19% off. It's the last one of the year. Also, you guys are going to Ghana this year. There are 13 seats from yesterday that are left. So if you're interested in going to Ghana with the African Diaspora News folks and people, that's also a viability. Tickets are going fast. They're going by payment plans, so you could drop your certain payments if you don't want to give the whole amount. I know you're busy, but you thinking about going?
I'm thinking about it. But Donovan says the good news is he's going to sponsor 2 people to go to Ghana. I'm just kidding.
No, I'll sponsor, but we got to talk about payment.
Y'all hear that?
We got to talk about payment.
Don't worry. It
Females only. Sorry, fellas.
I'm sure it won't be nothing major, okay? Donovan, you was 55, so you got about 2 minutes in them.
I'll be eating a lot of spinach and greens.
It might be a fair trade. I don't know. Anyway, love and appreciate every last one of y'all.
Happy Father's Day to
happy
you
Father's
guys.
Day. Please get the big piece of chicken.
Yes.
If you don't do nothing else today, okay? So love and appreciate y'all. I might try to make some videos throughout the time that I'm here, but if I don't, I definitely will see you guys on Thursday when I get back home. Yes. Love and appreciate y'all. Peace. Thank you, Venus.